gonna go back here and post and BLN. Boom.
Nice. We're live.
We are live.
Wait,
Get it.
Cody's streaming, correct?
Cody's streaming, yeah.
Guess I thought I'd check in on the game too. You still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. And he's got that really crispy
I know.
stream quality too.
Is that those guys have the crazy stream quality because of their monitors? Like, why?
I have no clue, to be honest with you. I have zero
I'm
clue.
hardwired. Like, I feel like my stream should still be nice, but if it's off my TV, then I get it.
That's not how I spell that. There we go.
Get this going. Tell me if you can hear bad or good it is.
You're fine.
Okay, good. I might be a little delayed because I am in traffic. I'm not trying to crash.
Oh wait, you're driving and calming?
Kind of.
Oh Lord.
When I tell you it's standstill traffic, it is standstill traffic for a good time.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well,
Pittsburgh people don't know how to drive.
This is the kind of dedication we bring to BLN, ladies and gentlemen. If you are here in the chat, let me know. Nico's here. He says that's dedication to the league, and I agree. But
hey, if I can get on the streams with Connor, I'm going to do it.
Just to quickly give a setup for what this game means. Obviously, both guys are well locked into the playoffs. That's not an issue. It's all about matchups here. It's all about, A, it's all about staying healthy, and B, it's all about who these guys want to play in the playoffs. The winner of this game is going to be the 5 seed and play Austin Cincinnati Bengals. The loser of this game will be the 6 seed and play Kooks Indianapolis Colts. We already talked about this off stream, but Steele, real quick, I just wanted to get your thoughts on, from a pure matchup perspective, if you're both of these guys, who would you rather play? Who are you aiming for here and why?
If I am Phil, I want the 5 seed because I feel like I have better luck against Austin and Warren, where I don't think I want to play little Alex. Now, unfortunately for Cody, he doesn't get that because he has said multiple times he does not like playing Warren or little Alex. But I do think he has a better chance against Austin just because they play so much that they kind of know each other's tendencies.
Play each other a lot.
Hard.
Your audio is starting to get a little iffy.
Let me know if you can hear it now.
That's better. All
right, man. But yeah, I think if you're Cody, he doesn't really like playing Warren or Little, and I would rather take my chance with Austin, who I know, and the wild card of Cook. So
yeah, 100% agree. As Dak Prescott will drop back, as he really nice usering by Cody does not have anything open. He's gonna end up taking a shot. I think that he caught it and then dropped it. That was super weird. Okay, roughing the passer, which that was one of the weirder animations I've seen. He caught it off a highly contested catch, and then there was a roughing anyway, so an additional 15 yards.
He definitely got a little bailed out there.
Yes, sir. And
great.
Cody shaking his head for a good 5 seconds. That was perfect usering and just ended up not mattering, as we have a power O out of gun Ezekiel Elliott, who is not a super viable Madden running back anymore, but obviously Phil knows how to give him kind of spot touches, able to take it for gain of 8. But talking about this game real quick, it's an interesting matchup, obviously a rematch of a past Super Bowl, the exact Super Bowl number I'm forgetting, but these guys tend to play each other pretty close, and I'll be interested to see how this matchup goes.
Yeah, and I'm a little behind you, so if you need to talk, you go ahead.
That's fine. I'll cut you off when I need to.
Okay, yeah, I think it's a good matchup. I don't know who's going to win this one. I know Phil's likes to be. He usually doesn't take too many shots, so it'll be a close game. He's just going to let his defense play, and I think if he can keep Lamar Jackson in check, he has a chance to win. And obviously, Cody, the only 20-0 user that he's on in every game that he ever needs to play. So he's got juice.
He's got a lot of juice, especially after seeing Husky great Jake Browning lead his team to victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, what a game that was. One of the best NFL games I've seen this season. So, he's buzzed and he's fired up. We'll see. We'll see what his mentality is going into playoffs, because I know at one point when he played Troy, he was a little bit on the bridge. So we'll see how much he's willing to compete as we have play, action, horrible pocket presence by Dak Prescott. He's going to end up running back 20 yards and throwing it away. That is the Justin Thiele special.
I don't know what also is Phil's obsession with these old veteran players, like Ezekiel Elliott as your starting running back. Is Javonte hurt, or is he just not playing him?
I have no clue. He might have benched Javonte for the playoffs. I don't really know. I'll be honest. This is the first full Phil game I've seen this year, so it's going to be interesting. But we have Dan saying, okay. I was about to say there's only one quarterback on this team, but now Kellen Mond's there too. Super Bowl 38 in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you. And we have a lot of guys in here in the chat. Actually, let me get a quick read off. We got Alex, Dan, Matt, and Nico, as well as Boz. So thank you all so much for showing up. And let me know, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into the playoffs, obviously this game will set the AFC playoff picture fully, but which matchup are you most excited for? Or even which potential matchup are you most excited for? For me, it's probably Dan versus Allen. I have no idea who's going to win that game, and I'm very curious to see how both guys perform, as we have a 3rd and 5 trips to the right, including that tight end who will get a lot of use in this Phil-led offense. As Dak Prescott's going to drop back, 4-man rush, had the zig open, didn't see it, throws it right to Marlon Humphrey, intercepted, gets bagged up. That will prevent a pick 6. Just not a good read.
Yeah, he's just forcing it, which, I think he had time. I don't know why he would throw that. That doesn't seem like a Phil throw there, but unfortunate for him. Let's see what Cody does with it.
Who's in booth? Yeah, it's me and Steele from his car, which is next level dedication to the league. I appreciate that. But yeah, 1st and 10, obviously a lot of weapons on here. Key among them, Lamar Jackson himself, that you have to try to contain, as Lamar Jackson's going to drop back, do a little play action, and throws it out of sack. I don't know if that was super open, maybe trying to throw Mark Andrews open there, but the 4-man rush gets through.
Yeah, that was a little bit crazy there, coming in, looked pretty much insta shed on Lamar Jackson.
That is one key element of Phil's teams, past and present, is he always really prioritizes the defensive line. Really, really good at creating dominant defensive lines where he can consistently rush 4 and still get home. So that's definitely something that he's gonna have to account for here. As we have a kind of outside run here is Bradham. I don't know who that is. That must be some AI, but only for a gain of 2. We already have a 3rd and long here for Cody.
Like I said, I'm a little behind you, but there we go. Yeah, that was a nice run. I'm surprised Dolphins didn't get out there a little bit better.
For sure, yeah. It seemed like he got sold a little bit by the blocking, but 3rd and 8 as we have, again, a lot of weapons on this field. Obviously, Zay Flowers over there, Rashad Bateman on the outside. Got to account for Lamar, obviously, as the scissors may eventually come open. No, questionable read, swatted away. Really good play there by number 6. Good coverage by Phil in general, as we have a quick 3 and out for the Ravens.
Yeah, like I said, Phil's defense will keep him in this game.
Yeah.
They'll keep him in most games, and, after having a turnover, you'd rather have the 3 points, but, the next best thing for Phil is to get your punt defense, get your punt return out there and make your way down the field.
Lee Cam goes down with an injury holding his back. It's like seeing my grandpa take a golf swing. That's the exact same animation right there. 1st and 10 as Denver's going to take back over. Yeah, we've seen a turnover, 3 and out so far, and I don't know if I've necessarily seen. We obviously saw one horrible read from Phil. I don't know if we've seen any super bad reads from either of them beyond that, but these are 2 very good defensive users, 2 very good defenses in terms of the actual guys on the field, as well as we're going to have more play action. Another PA boot concept. Has the flats wide open. Had the flats wide open. Is Phil tanking?
No, I can't see that, because honestly, though, I'm thinking if you're in this game and you're in the playoffs and both these users, it's not like there's an easy game to get. Why are we playing any starters, honestly?
Unless, so the only reason to play starter, so either you have a rookie that you want to, get some good stats, good juke by Lamar. Oh my God, Lamar Jackson. But you either have a rookie that you want to get good stats, try to get, a dev in terms of his stats, or if you really want to play Austin over Kook and like you're treating this as a playoff game. I don't necessarily know if either of these users have that mentality. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be such an L if like we see a big time player get hurt in this game as Brad him on the stretch at a pistol, which I don't see a lot of guys run. Cody's one of the few who does, but a pretty slow plotting game on offense for both users so far.
Yeah, it's crazy the world we came to where you want to win this game to play 9-time Super Bowl champ Austin Raposa. So that just shows you how deep like the whole league is. But
yeah,
I mean, honestly, retroactively, I thinking about it. If I'm Cody, I don't know if I even want to play any of these. Like, you lose Lamar Jackson, or at least take my quarterbacks out.
Yeah, I'll say this, man. Every time, like we just saw him try to break multiple tackles with Lamar a couple plays ago. Every time I take off with Lamar, I am sliding like 10 yards short of where I need to. Like we are not going to have Lamar get hurt. I don't want to go from Lamar to Kellen Mond for the playoffs. Fuck no. 3rd and 6. Alex, I'll get to that question in a second. Yes, there are playoff implications, but I'll tell you after this as we have, again, another 4-man rush. This time it does not get through. Really good user, although he did have it coming open, but the 4-man rush, I mean, you stand there for 7 seconds. Eventually it's going to come in and again, another 3 and well, he did get a first down, but another quick drive here for the Ravens.
Yeah, if you need to answer Alex's question.
For sure. So, in terms of the seeding implications, Alex, if we have a strip. Oh my God, is that Dan got it back? Or excuse me, Denver got it back. I looked at the den up there and said Dan. But playoff implications for this game, Alex. The winner of this game is going to get the 5 seed, play Austin in the 4-5 game, Austin Raposa. The loser of this game is going to be the 6 seed and play Kooks, Indianapolis Colts. So really, it's all about who you'd rather play between the two in terms of whether you want to win or lose this game. As we have a handoff to Ezekiel Elliott. Once again, like you said, obsession with old veteran players. He's got Dak Prescott. He's got Ezekiel Elliott. It's a unique way of building your team, but it's worked for Phil over the years.
Yeah, and I bet he has some old receivers too. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Mike Evans or one of those kind of guys out there on the outside.
100%. As we have a 4-man rush, good read, although he gets brutalized by, I don't know who that is, but the DB. And we have a 3rd and 8.
Also, going back to the punt, that's the first time I saw that animation was the game that CMAS just got that on me. That is the 2nd time I've ever seen that animation. Where that strip, just the guy wraps around the back and they pump out.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else has seen that or not.
Well, guys, just spam RB as we have a deep crosser open. He does hit it. There is Bruce Wayne, a.k.a. Bryce Wayne there, able to get that one. We knew that the tight end targets were coming. It took a lot longer than I expected, but Phil uses them better maybe than anyone else.
Yeah, I'm going to try to reset this stream real quick just to catch up a little bit with you.
Sounds good. As we have a 1st and 10 here, once again, trips to the right, Dak Prescott making a series of adjustments at the line, and I am impressed with how effective Phil's run game's been despite having slow-ass Zeke Elliott. As we have a corner route, Bryce Wayne again. Marlon Humphrey might be the MVP of this game so far. The knockouts are insane. And then he shoves Bryce Wayne, gets in his face. I love that. Dan's always on my mind, Buzz. Every minute, every second, every hour. 2nd and 10. I might run against this front, honestly. Just ID Roquan Smith and go from there. Dak Prescott making serious adjustments. He will not. Instead, he drops back. 4-man rush. Slowly goes to the right. Continues to have the flats open, and this time he hits it. Bryce Wayne with his 3rd straight target, able to get the 1st down.
Yeah, I want to say he's also up there for Rookie of the Year. Bryce Wayne, or maybe he's up there at the top, like 3 or 4. He's done pretty well with that tight end. And he wasn't even the first tight end drafted. I think that was by the Jets user who may have barely.
You can always expect, no matter who Phil has at tight end, whether it's a rookie, whether it's an established tight end, like he'll dev up those tight ends. Like the tight end honestly is his first read, I feel like, on most of his passing concepts. And we've seen that here, obviously 3 straight targets for Bryce Wayne after a slow start to his game. But This is a solid drive from Phil here so far. We'll see if he can actually get some points off it, because Jesus Christ, 2nd and 9 as we have a 5-man rush, gets bagged up as he has a post open. Instead, Roquan Smith, for some reason, tried to get off the drag with no one else in the area as Trenton Simpson goes down. And like you said, Steele, that's going to be another kind of storyline of this game, is who gets injured.
Yeah, and the injuries this year have been pretty crazy. I mean, a lot of them have been one game. You might get a few guys for like 3 or 4 weeks, but I mean, this is the playoffs where you lose a guy for 4 weeks. That's the rest of his season. So honestly, if I was both these users, I don't care what seed. I'd rather have a healthy team.
Backups versus backups. I mean, that's exactly what I did against Nick yesterday. I put in all of my backups except for my 2 rookies, Matthew Andrews and Northcutt, just try to get them some stats. So fortunately, no one got injured, but yeah, I mean, it was pretty much all my backups out there. So we have a draw, which I've seen a lot of users run. Ezekiel Elliott able to fall forward for an additional like 4 yards.
Yeah, it's nice that Madden last, I think, 2 cycles has brought back the draw. You see a lot of these users using that to keep the draw to get 4 or 5 yards.
The guy I've seen use draws potentially the most effectively is Big Alex. Like, it always seems like he'll pull him out against a weak box, 2nd and long, 3rd and long situation, and it seems like it works for him pretty consistently. He's always able to get those big yards off of them. 2nd and 7 as we approach the end of the first quarter here. Feels like this first quarter's taking a while, but that's what happens when there are, a bunch of turnovers and 3 and outs. Dak Prescott once again making a series of adjustments, doing a lot of checks at the line as Phil, really trying to do some pre-snap reading as he will drop back. Good usering, but it does not matter. The flats are open. Dulcich, I don't know who that is, but he's able to get to the goal line.
I think that's their tight end in real life.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Listen.
And I mean, Phil's been in control this whole game. Like, he doesn't throw the interception at the beginning. Like, he's feeling comfortable. These are things you just got to clean up now.
Zeke will run straight into an interior blitz, not able to get much, if anything, off of that, and that is the end of the first quarter. We have a shutout here in Mile High Stadium, 0-0 with playoff seating on the line.
So what are your who do you think's coming out of real quick AFC? Who do you got in the AFC playoffs?
I will say real quick, and this is something that Boz and I were talking about, I think this is one of the less predictable playoff slates we've had in a while in terms of, like, there are multiple guys in both conferences to see coming out. Dak Prescott will drop sack and take a huge sack. Loses about 17 yards there. It takes him all the way back to the 20. But to answer your question, Steele, I think if I had to bet, I would say Little coming out of the AFC. And then out of the NFC, it's like, it could be Hero, it could be Alex, it could be Morty. Like, none of those 3 would really surprise me. My official prediction, though, is Warren v. Hero, if I had to guess. Or, I'm sorry, Little Hero.
Yeah, that's what I was. Wow, that'd be what a throwback.
What a throwback that would be. Ezekiel Elliott's going to, just on a draw, make up a lot of the yards he got. 4th and goal from the 4. I know what you're going to say is we do see the field goal unit come out. Which I'd probably agree with at this point in the game, given what we've seen from Cody's offense so far.
Yeah, take the points. I will say,
if
Hootie does, I would like to see the Hootie Alex game. And that would change my mind a little bit. Then I think it's anybody's. The person that I think Hootie has the best chance to beat Little Alex. That would realistically play him. Like, Kook has beat him in the season, but
interesting.
The 3 versus the 1 seed is only an AFC Championship game.
What makes you say that? Do you think it's just like a bad matchup for Little, or I'm curious?
I think this Madden is kind of easier to run, and
sure,
who has set his team up to run with the abilities he has on his O-line, and Nick Chubb and Kyler Murray, where he can shorten the game and not turn the ball over, which is where Alex, I think, thrives.
The first completion of the game for Lamar Jackson comes off of a quick little orbit screen there, only for a gain of 2. But, I mean, y'all saw it up there, ladies and gentlemen. Cody, this is his 3rd drive. He only has like 20 offensive yards. So, got to get something going. Obviously, you don't want to put too much on tape, especially on BLN, because, people like to scout. They like to watch. So, that may be another kind of component of this game. But at some point, you kind of got to get your offense going there. That is the biggest play of the game for Baltimore. We'll take it for 3rd and 1.
Yeah, another storyline is if these guys would have just simmed this game, we could have played the playoffs last night.
That is another storyline, certainly.
Every game matters. Every game matters.
Yes, it does. They're all meaningful, baby. We're here to compete. Unless it's Cody and Tahuti, and then we can touch grass all we want to. 3rd and 1 as we have a blitz get picked up, but Lamar Jackson not able to get the throw off. Got kind of deflected a little bit at the line. 4th and 1 is Cody. Yeah, Cody, one of the more conservative users in terms of game management, and I think most guys will probably punt in this situation. I was wondering if we were going to see like a frustration go for it, but he's going to send the punting unit out.
Now, being down 3-0, I know Cody, he doesn't really get too frustrated, especially early. He'd probably punt this even if he was down like 14-0. I think he's going to let his defense take his shots when he can.
Trust his defense. I mean, we've also seen Phil make a few horrific reads this game, so, if Phil was looking like really locked in, I might consider differently, but it's not as if Phil's had the best game on offense either, so yeah, just kind of keep the field position battle going, keep the war of attrition going here as we have 1st and 10 is for one of the few times all game is going to come out under center. We have a stretch here, good usering by Cody, forces him inside, and Zeke goes for nothing.
Alternately, though, I would like to see Cody come out and get some play action rollouts, not just regular play action. And get Lamar on the move. Like those easy little drags and corner routes will be everywhere.
Force Phil to set some spies, set some hard flats, yeah, and then he can kind of hit him over the top. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. And I do know that Cody, like having watched a couple of his games, I do know that he likes some boot concepts. He just, I guess, hasn't run them yet. And we've also kind of barely seen this Ravens offense yet. I mean, he's had 3 drives, but they've all ended super quickly as we have a quick drop back. I don't see anyone open. Oh, good read to the comeback as Johnson able to hit it for a gain of 20.
Yeah, that's a Phil staple. Corners and comebacks.
Yes, sir. I see Phil run those, and I see really Lucky and Morty run them too, as they really like their comebacks against certain zone drops, and there we saw it hit. I mean, that was a really nice read by Phil. I wasn't even looking on that side of the field, honestly. 1st and 10 as we are going to see again another kind of a tight-ish concept here as he will drop back, double drags out there, in routes open, but he doesn't see it. Dak Prescott forced throw it away.
Still a little behind you, but yeah, that's good using by Cody there. And I like to see the pass rush come in there. Haven't seen it too much, but
we've only seen like 1 or 2 blitzes from both of these guys so far. It seems like in general they're pretty happy to just send 4 and drop 7 or just kind of like play zone defense and let each other make mistakes. And based on the way this game's gone so far, I don't hate it, especially with, like I said, some sheds coming through, especially for the Broncos, as he will drop back as that shed goes through. Ooh, my goodness. Almost intercepted.
So far behind. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a terrible throw by Dak.
So one thing you can do to catch up is if you press settings, like if you press the little like gear button on the top right and then like change the if you change the broadcast quality, that should catch you up to where I am.
Okay, I will try that. Because I was at like 480. I was trying to do that.
Right. That sometimes helps as we have a 3rd and 10 as we're setting up for potentially another defensive stop here if Phil can't convert this. Again, making a series of adjustments. I expect a zig out there at some point, but we did not see one. It said Dak Prescott's going to stand like a statue and go down away with the sack as this defensive slugfest continues.
Yeah, this is pitiful from offense. Like, I want to see Phil pound the rock and run the ball. It seems like Zeke was getting 4 or 5 yards of carry. Now he's got pass happy, and he just keeps getting screamed at.
Very much seems that way, yeah. I mean, Phil thrives on balance, right? He thrives on, making the defensive user be a step behind, not really knowing what's coming in terms of the run-pass balance and working some play actions in as well. Yeah, we've seen him the last couple of drives get a bit too aggressive, maybe a bit too pass-happy, and like you said, I would like to see him get back to pounding the rock, which is what he does best, certainly. 3-0 still, as Baltimore will try to get their first points on the board. From Cody's perspective, do you think it's a play calling issue? Do you think it's bad reads? Do you think Phil's just playing a really good defensive game? What have you seen here so far?
I definitely think it's some weird plays. He hasn't really broken anything, and Phil's just been playing great defense.
He's getting a lot of shit.
He kind of knows
Good.
he kind of knows like what Cody wants to run. Like Cody knows he wants to run the angle routes. He wants to run like Mark Andrew corner routes. Like, and Phil's been taking those away. And I mean, he's only had 9 plays. So
this is a good time for a shot play here. 2nd and 3 as he will drop back. We'll have RB open. Watch out as Mark Andrews not able to come down with it. Really nice play by Weaver. The safety jumped on that immediately as we have another 3rd down.
And it seems like a lot of Cody's plays are going 15, 20 yards where he's letting him get all the underneath stuff and Cody's not taking it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple times where he's clamped down on the flats, but yeah, I mean, certainly as we have a 3rd and 3 here, good hesitation there by Bradham, able to hit the lane, as that is one of the few first downs we've seen. We're going to see a little no huddle here, which I don't hate against this front, maybe trying to kind of further victimize it. I probably would have ran again, honestly, as he will drop back, angle route wide open goes to it, although the knockout by number 2, and I tell y'all that those KO abilities are slept on. We've seen Marlon Humphrey knock out a couple, now we've seen Phil knock out a couple too.
Yeah, and there's nothing more frustrating like having a completion and then a second later your guy just drops it. It's demoralizing.
Just knocks it down with the lightest possible animation, but it is frustrating certainly. As we're gonna have a double drag concept here, which it seems like it's done a pretty good job of shutting down. As we have a wide open corner route, Zay Flowers stays in bounds and takes it to the 36. By far the biggest play of the game here for Cody is things are finally starting to click here a little bit for Cody.
Yeah, he's getting into rhythm. It seems like he's kind of figuring out what's going to work.
Yeah.
I like it. I like what he's doing.
More aggressive play calling here as he will drop back as Phil sends 6 and Lamar Jackson goes down. Huge sack by Washington as he had a lot open but did not have time to get it off.
Oh, that was a great call from Phil. I like the chess match there of
you've
been giving him time and rolling out and take it out of there now.
Yeah, really, really nice time to send the blitz. As Lamar and Cody didn't see it coming at all, just not able to get anything off it. As we have a handoff on 2nd and 20, will it pay off? Yeah, kind of. As it takes it for gain of 7. Still a long 3rd down here. And with the offenses having been the way they've looked so far, how aggressive are you here on 3rd and long?
It depends on how bad I want to win this game right now. Like. I feel like even if you go 5 yards in the run game, like you have Justin Tucker, you're making this field goal no matter what. Yeah.
So he will drop back, throws it up, overthrown, nearly intercepted by 31 as Cody visibly frustrated with some of the throws. But like you said, you have Justin Tucker. This is going to be an easy 3 points.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you want to play conservative, like if this is the playoffs, I might have played a little more conservative and took my 3 points. Your defense is still playing really great, so.
Kick is up, and unsurprisingly, kick is good. 3-3 here in Denver, and I mean, we'll see. 2 minutes left, 3 timeouts. Denver has time, especially if their goal is ultimately like a field goal. They definitely have time to just run their basic offense, but we'll see how aggressive Phil gets here. I would honestly be a little worried here if I was a Broncos fan.
Yeah, and this is like big money time too, because he gives the ball back to Cody at half. So if you can get 3 points here, it looks pretty nice for you. You at least feel some comfortable if Cody does come down and score. But if you don't, or you turn it over, like you could be down big going into the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I always think about kind of the possession advantage, and that's why I think it's such a huge advantage to kick to start the game and then receive in the second half, because if you can get that early stop, you can play with so much confidence the rest of the way, knowing that you're always going to have that additional possession advantage in the second half. And Baltimore does have that confidence now. So 3-3, 2 minutes remaining. Like I said, in the first half, we will see how aggressive Phil gets. And I mean, it's not like he's hit big throws in this game, but we've also seen some really bad reads where he just completely ignores the flats. So 1st and 10, as we'll see what he's able to do, as we will again unsurprisingly go aggressive here, throws it right to Roquan, intercepted by the Ravens as Roquan takes a sweet ass time standing up, but we knew that was a possibility, and now Cody will get the ball back with the game in his control.
And that's exactly what you didn't want to happen. Give Cody a minute to go and being in field goal range already. Like now he's going to score possibly and then score again after 3rd. Like that's the things we don't think about until it happens.
Back dive to Bradham does not go for a lot, gain of 4, but yeah, this is where, like, if I'm in Phil's position, I'm tilted and I'm really, really worried because you've just given Cody a massive, massive advantage in this game. And as long as he can punch it in, even if this only, truthfully, even if this only ends up in a field goal, you've still given Cody, in my opinion, a huge benefit to this game. As we have good using, I see no one open, but we do always have Lamar. He will take off and get the first down somehow, able to tiptoe down the sideline.
Yeah, and I think, though, if I'm Phil, I'd rather give the 3 because he's already in here. I'm not going to try to play super aggressive and knock him out and give up the touchdown.
Right.
But, yeah, these are things like I learned last night playing CMS. Like, he had a minute left, and instead of playing a little bit more conservative, I tried to get the ball back, and he scored, and I was down going into half.
Speed option, able to pitch it off, but does not have a lot of room. Bradham gets gang tackled there as he goes down with an injury. Here is that storyline we were talking about. We'll see if that knocks him out for more than just the game.
Oh, is that not even J.K. Dobbins?
No, it's Bradham. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know Cody's running back situation, but yeah, that was Bradham.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I mean, hopefully he didn't look like he was injured too long, so hopefully he's coming back. But, like, these are the things you got to worry about.
Play action boot plays. I continue not seeing anyone open. Lamar's going to take off. He has room and smartly slides down at the 6-yard line. Minute 3 left. Yeah, Denver doing the right thing, in my opinion, calling timeout. Because you want to, at the very least, want to try to get the ball back here with some time. Fortunately, it's only an ankle bruise for Bradham.
That's nice. I mean, honestly, seeing that, I think I might not even call any options or anything like that with Lamar.
Yeah. This looks like he took Bradham out of the game as we have an RPO. Hill, the backup, will come up and get thrown to the ground by 4 Broncos. We have another injury. This time it's Isaiah Likely.
That's rough. Yeah, I mean, at least it's your backup tight end. But, yeah, I hate it. I mean, I love the injuries. I don't know what your thoughts are. I like them, but I'm also like, let me play with my guys. Like, I want to play with my players.
There's a balance to it that I don't know if we found, because I do agree with you. It's probably a little as we have a halfback punch as Hill will dive in for the touchdown. But to answer what you were saying, yeah, only a bruise tournament, it's only a game injury. But I'm not one of those people. I mean, I've seen Lucky be like, oh, turn injuries off completely. I don't agree with that. I think that kind of screws up team building too, because you don't have to care about depth. But also, I mean, games where there are like 4 or 5 people who go down with game injuries, like, that's frustrating.
Yeah, and that's like, I think I've had a receiver out 4 weeks, like the whole season, whether it be Jalen Hyatt or like my rookie. Like, it does suck, and you can't have those guys. But I mean, it does make it more balanced, where like now I got to play with somebody else.
Justin Jefferson's gotten 2 different 4-week injuries this season. I've only played with him for half the season, and it was definitely an adjustment period. Like, my offense definitely suffered the first game or 2 where I didn't have him, because I was like, oh, I don't have a bailout option, whatever. I don't know what to do, so it's tough.
He's down there somewhere.
Exactly. Fucking is down there somewhere. I see him in single coverage. We're chucking it up, but we have a 5-man rushes. Again, has the flats open, will hit it. Bryce Wayne gets stood up and then taken down by 2 guys. So we're likely going to see no huddle, and yes, we do. Again, trips to the right. Really, you don't need to play super aggressive defense here, as he does in the sense 4 back, as we have an intermediate crosser open. Instead, we'll take the flats. Zeke Elliott gets out of bounds.
Yeah, this is good. Just keep dinking and dunking. Even 3 points kind of helps you, because you don't have a ton of time, so touchdown would be nice. But I mean, at least get something on this drive to alleviate Cody getting the ball back at half.
Absolutely. I got to keep yourself in it however you can, as Dak Prescott will step up and go down. Oh, no, Dak Prescott fighting for his life. I don't know what we saw, and we are going to see the second time out. Cody, bewildered, beside himself, shook, frankly.
I feel him. There's times where you crush a quarterback and they don't fumble, and then other people just like barely touch your guy and they just drop the ball. It's like,
shout out Daniel Jones.
Madden, make it even. Make it even. Make the hit stick matter again.
Yes, thank you. Preach. We need the hit sticks back. I feel like it's harder to land hit sticks this Madden too. I just don't. It's tough. And then when you do hit them, or when you do land them, they're not nearly as effective as they used to be. But 25 seconds remaining. Again, we've seen a lot of gun trips formations out of Phil. This is another one. Trips to the short side of the field. Might see some regression here with 1 timeout. I'd be a little surprised. Well, we'll see. Is Dak Prescott's going to drop back? Zig route wide open. Didn't see it. Instead, oh my goodness, intercepted by Marlon Humphrey, who continues to impact this game. as he will only cost his team some time there. But I mean, Marlon Humphrey has had a career game here.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, cover 3. I didn't know if it was it cover 3? I don't know if it was like for sure open, but the way Humphrey brought the ball was pretty nice. You don't see that very often.
You do not have time for 2 plays here. You need to either get out of bounds or just go for the touchdowns. We have a wheel route open as Lopez may just have to outrun one man on the sideline as Simmons unable to catch up. Touchdown.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, that's Surtain on some bum running back receiver. Like, the corners just don't matter this man, it seems like. And there's no reason that Surtain should get burned like that on a wheel route.
When in doubt, go to the wheel route, ladies and gentlemen. And absolutely, I mean, I don't want to say a succulent dot because it was wide open, but a really nice scheme there by Cody to try to hit a 1-play touchdown. He did just that. Simmons and Surtain unable to catch up, and Cody is firmly in control of this game now.
Also, why aren't we in prevent? He has 15 seconds and no timeouts.
It's a great question. It's a great question, yeah, because like you can allow even like a 15-yard catch, you can allow that because he still wouldn't have been a field goal range. But 3 seconds, unless we see some redonkulous type of play here, whether it's a pick six, whether it's a pass interference, shout out CMAS. This will end in a 17-3 game, and Cody did absolutely nothing in the first quarter on offense. So you got to be feeling some type of way here if you're Phil that this has turned out the way it has.
Yeah, 2 things. If I'm Cody, I think if I get another score, I'm taking out Lamar. And 2, I have to leave you. I am home.
Bum, bum, ba-dum,
I'm sorry.
Love you still. It's okay.
You will take this home just like you're going to do in the playoffs. You're my dark horse. Let's go.
I have one last question for you before you leave. Heading into offseason, what is the one position group you're trying to shore up as GM of the Titans?
Not one group, but the front 7 needs shored up because Kook and King and everybody just runs all over me. So, linebacker, D-line, let's get it.
All right.
Send somebody too.
Appreciate
all
you. Right. Appreciate you for joining while driving. That was next level heart as we have a read option. The first one of the game here is Bradham's gonna take it for a gain of 4, 5 yards a carry. He hasn't done anything super explosive, but I mean, you'll take a consistent 5 yards a pop in the running game when the passing game is as much of a threat as it is. I say that he has less than 100 passing yards, so I got my face. 2nd and 6, we have a little strong power to the wide side of the field. Again, only goes after a gain of 3. The front 7's done really well. Warren saying NFC superior conference. Tahuti saying traitor. I mean, I don't know. To me, Warren's speaking nothing but facts. But that's okay. Let me see what we got in here real quick. A lot of guys. Dan, Hootie, Nico, Warren. Appreciate y'all for joining. And let me know. I mean, I'm going to kind of... let's get crossed up as we have another knockout, as we have knockout abilities all over the place here on this Denver secondary. Really, really tough to deal with. You kind of got to account for it every time you drop back to pass. We've seen it happen at least 5 times now, but that's the stop that Phil needed if he wanted to keep himself in this game. Mims with all sorts of room here might get a big return off this. He does not. This question earlier, I think I may have asked it too early because no one else is in here. Which playoff matchup are y'all most excited for? Obviously, all 3 of the NFC matchups are set. It's going to be Hero versus CMAS, myself versus Morty, Dan versus Allen. We already have one AFC matchup set that is, I believe, Warren versus Hootie. And then the other 2 depend on the results of this game. But I'm just curious, like, which matchup or which potential matchup you're most excited to watch. Hopefully on BLM. For me, so far, it's Dan v. Allen. Dan v. Allen, I have no idea who would win that. And also, based on what we saw last season, Warren v. Hootie will be really, really fun. A potential revenge opportunity for Warren after he got bounced last season by Hootie's Cleveland Browns. Dak Prescott will once again drop back. May have had the seam open, goes to the seam. He does not have it open whatsoever, intercepted by Hamilton. As if Phil brings this type of passing offense into the playoffs, I mean, he's not beating Kook. He's not beating Austin. I don't care. He's losing to either of those guys. And it's funny because like Phil's been hyper efficient in the passing game this year, so I don't really know what I'm watching. I mean, you see up there 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. All of them have been interceptions. A counter to the left, a succulent play call as Bradham takes it for a gain of 9. Thanks, Dan. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, this is the first time I've played Morty in a playoff game, despite us having been in the league together for, this is our 8th cycle together. 8th cycle? Yeah, 8th cycle. So it's going to be interesting from that perspective. Obviously, Morty, the hottest user in the league right now, as we have a very ineffective touch pass there. Or jet sweep, I should say. But it'll be fun. I mean, I've historically, I think, played Morty pretty well. Like, I definitely have the head-to-head advantage over him. I've beaten him twice this Madden, but both of those games were before he kind of really figured himself out on offense. Obviously, before he went on this massive winning streak, so it's going to be interesting. And you run against this front all day. Are you serious, Phil? Okay, well... That's why I'm the 6th seed. That's why I'm not one of these dominant users. 4th and inches, honestly, there's something to be said for kicking this field goal. Yeah, like, normally I'm the one to advocate for aggressive decision-making. Phil has done fuck all on offense. Just take your 3-possession lead and say, stop me if you can. Or drive on me if you can, I should say. A field goal will go up and down for 3 points. That is, again, a 3-possession lead. And at this point, it's a matter of, I mean, I don't know if Phil's going to be able to come back and win this game regardless. At this point, it's a matter of, can Phil get some type of offense going before the playoffs? Because this is pretty tough so far. Pretty tough from him. I mean, he's had some good drives. Like, he's driven to the red zone a few times. It's just, I don't know. He seems to be shooting himself in the foot whenever he's able to get to that position. Handoff into RPO. This is Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott not really able to read the lanes there. Gets stood up and thrown down for a gain of 4. Just to give, like, my quick thoughts, because I gave my thoughts on the NFC playoff matchups with Dan earlier. You can, go back and listen to that stream if you care about it. Real quick, I'm going to assume that Cody's going to see this game out, so I'll real quick talk about each playoff matchup. Warren versus Hootie first in the 2v7 game. Like I said, it's a rematch of last season's wild card, and for whatever reason, is that Prescott is just not seeing the field right now. For whatever reason, it seems like Hootie's offensive play style just tilts Warren. Like, Warren just does not like playing it. He complains mid-game in the streams chat every time he plays it. So from, like, a mental perspective, I'll be very interested to see how Warren, tries to handle that, whether he stays more chill, whether he stays more composed. It is, at times, certainly frustrating to play against, Take it from me, ladies and gentlemen, as we have a good read there as he's able to hit Bryce Wayne in the intermediate passing game. But I still think, like, if I had to guess, like, purely on paper, I think Warren should win. But that's definitely a matchup where psychology plays just as much of an impact as actual Madden reads, Madden results. As far as the 3-6 game, which is looking increasingly like it's going to be Kook versus Phil, I mean, I don't know. Flip a coin, ladies and gentlemen, on that one. I guess based on what I'm seeing right now, I would have Kook be the favorite because Kook has really a lot of nice wins under his belt this season. I don't know. Y'all need to take a look at his schedule if you haven't already. He's beaten Little, he's beaten Hero, swept King, swept Steel. He's got a lot of, like, really nice results against good users under his belt, and all of his losses are against, like, top tier guys, like Warren, like CMAS. So he's had a really, really impressive regular season. I would tend to give him the edge. And then the Cody v. Austin matchup, that's going to be a classic as well. I don't know, who's going to win. Really nice in route there. Looks like Phil's starting to see the field a little bit better. But as far as the Cody Austin game goes, I probably would give Austin the slight edge. The slight edge, ladies and gentlemen. 1st and 10, as he will drop back. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I calmed a game, and granted, it was against Lucky, who struggles to stop people. But I calmed a game against Lucky where Phil threw like 2 incompletions the entire game. He went literally like 24 for 26. And now watching this, it's giving me whiplash. I mean, he still could come back and win this game, is the crazy thing. Like, he just needs to, like, get his shit together here. Drops back. Nice way to exploit it. Jerry Jeudy, I haven't seen him all game. That's his first target, I think. Kook is the AFC's Morty, very hot. Yeah. Yeah, man. Kook's, people are sleep. I mean, I don't think people are really sleeping on Morty. They're looking at him as a, legitimate threat within the NFC. I think people are still sleeping on Kook a little bit. Sleep on him at your own risk, man. He's been really, really solid, and he's got a really tough scheme to try to stop. As we see that cross splits again, this time he drops back against it, picks it up perfectly, had the flats open. These reads are pissing me off. I mean, when a very mediocre passing user, I'm getting pissed off by your reads, that's how you know it's getting bad. Second and goal. He will drop back. I mean, the flats are open every play damn near. Mims able to hold on to it. Third and goal. Phil v. Kook, the Commonwealth Championship. I mean, a lot of people would call that the Milkman Bowl. Not me, though. I recognize that those are good users. That'd be a really fun game to calm too, just from a stylistic perspective, as we have an RPO, has the blocking, although able to get around it. Whoa, Mims tries to break a tackle, try to fall in, not able to. I kind of think you have to go for this. I mean, even though a field goal would make it a 2-possession game, I just, you're not gonna get many more long sustained drives like this. And frankly, you're starting to run out of time too with Baltimore looking the way they are, so I'd probably go for this, as it looks like he will. Will it be an RPO like everyone runs on the goal line, or will it be something else? No, we have a handoff as Zeke Elliott is going to saunter into the end zone. Touchdown! Phil finally punched it into the red zone. I mean, it took a while, but he finally did it, as we have a 20-10 ball game. Still with time to come back. We're going to have to get some quick stops here, and that's looking easier said than done with the way Cody's looked the last few drives. And let me ask Dan, because I don't have the Discord up. I was about to say I don't have Slack up, RIP, but are we advancing after this game? What's the plan there? Because I would love to play Morty at 7, ideally. We both would rather do that. Seven Eastern, I mean. This is a front that you run against all day. You do not think twice. As Brad, I'm able to do a little wiggle stick there, able to fall forward for the first down. As Cody's just got to hold serve on offense. Even if he, only ends up with 3 points, just like a nice, long, sustained drive, the way he's put together the last couple drives, put pressure on Phil to have to drive and score 2 more touchdowns, in the remainder of this game. I don't know if the way it's looked, I don't know if Phil's really capable of doing that. And Phil's also, as Lamar gets screamed at and goes down. Cody frustrated with Lamar saying throw, but honestly, I think that was just good pressure, and I think it got through in time. You would need some crazy, old-time gunslinger to get that throw off. Yeah, he just didn't start that in time. But Phil's also not the type of player, he needs long, sustained drives. He's not the guy who's going to hit you with chunk plays. As we have a little rollout here, eventually as B open does not hit it. Instead, Lamar Jackson takes a hit out of bounds. You want to watch those roughing calls, but makes it a more manageable 3rd and 5. That's clutch. That's clutch for the league, as we have a 6-man rush, as he was not able to take away everything with his user. Mark Andrews, with all sorts of room, takes it to the 34-yard line. As Phil's hit Cody with some well-timed blitzes this game. That one, Cody was able to identify, get a quick read off, and it's a big chunk play there against Baltimore to field goal range. Am I about to see some hitch corners? Am I about to see some hitch corners, ladies and gentlemen? I tell you what, against a too high safety, I love this play call. Although he gets screamed at again, not able to get the pass off. As Phil, I think if he'd been able to lob that, I think Phil was beat. Played a little too aggressively there, but unable to get it done. Yeah, Alan, so this is purely for seeding, so the winner of this game is going to get the 5 seed and play Austin in the 4-5 game, and then the loser of this game plays Kook in the 3-6 game. So really, it's all about who you'd rather play between those two and what type of, path you'd rather have in the playoffs. Phil, I think, would have rather played Austin, genuinely. So the fact that he's dropping down is a bit of an L. Cody, I don't know who he'd rather play. He'd probably rather play Kook, truthfully. So maybe this is an L for both users as he will drop back and Lamar goes down as Allen able to get the block shed off the 4-man rush. And every hit and every sack Lamar takes, I get a little worried because you did not want that man to get injured. No, sir. A little bit of lag there on that field goal. The kick is up and good. And now Denver's going to have to put 2 touchdown drives together with around 6:30 remaining. I mean, he's capable of it. This is not the situation I feel super comfortable with Phil in, just based on his ideal offensive play style. But he's got some weapons. Got Jerry Jeudy. Got Bryce Wayne. We'll see if he can throw some dots. Spread out D line, which he will run on. I mean, I don't know if now's the time to try to get the run game going, but Zeke Elliott on the trap tries to get it gets a loss of 1, now 2nd and 11, and Denver's going to take their time. Actually, that wasn't a trap, was it? That was I don't know what that was. Huh. That was interesting. Down 13, ground and pound, AFC football. Listen, it's definitely Denver Broncos football, I'll say that much. He will drop back. 4-man rush as no one's open. He's going to be forced to throw it away. A little bit lucky, in my opinion, there to not have that be a fumble or a floating throw out of sack. But already we have a 3rd and long. I mean, you're in 4-down territory. You really can't punt this ball away now. So you don't have to pick up all 11 here necessarily. I mean, my God, he's had the flats open all game. It feels like at the very least. 3rd and 11, he will once again drop back. 4-man rush. Zig is wide open. Didn't see it. Dak Prescott's going to take off and go down as he gets hit at the line of scrimmage there by the right end Owe, who already has a sack, I believe, to his name. That's the 2nd one. And now this is the game here. If Cody gets the ball back at the 25-yard line, that's GG's. Showing blitz here. I'll be interested to see what he ends up sending. Yeah, I like this a lot. You show the blitz initially, dropping back into coverage, only a 3-man rush. Dak Prescott, recognizing he has time, takes a shot to Bryce Wayne as it is swatted away, which is for the best. That'll give Cody the ideal field position. As you can see up there, 13 for 29 with 5 picks. We're going to need to see better out of Phil coming into the playoffs. This is not going to beat any AFC user, this type of performance. It would beat Little in the Super Bowl, though. Yuck, 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 yuck. .509 and a stretch with not great block. I love it when those lead blockers on stretches don't know who to take. They just end up running in a straight line. It's so fun. Lamar better be the one taking the knees. Yep, I mean, if Cody's consistent, it's going to be Lamar taking the knees, but he will. Oh, I didn't even notice he'd call him out of the game, honestly. Power as Hill, the backup running back. We've already seen a few Baltimore Ravens go down with injuries. Luckily, I believe all of them have only been game injuries, so they'll be back for the playoffs. But that was definitely a storyline going into this game, is don't get one of your impactful starters hurt for the playoffs. Handoff, quick block shed there as Hill not able to get much. But, they're both letting the time run down here. I think, I don't know how aggressive Denver's going to be here trying to get the ball back. Or trying to get it, back from a 16-point deficit, I should say. Justin Tucker The golden god himself. Oh, so he has the slow meter on all the kicks, huh? Not just the long ones. That's kind of crazy. 26-10. I don't know if either user is necessarily going to be thrilled with how they've played on offense. Cody definitely figured it out in the second half. But one thing I will say that I've been really impressed by with Cody is his user play has been really, really good. Like his ability to pass off certain routes, take away multiple concepts on the same plays. We've seen that really from him all game, and I think it's kind of put Phil in the box a little bit. He's had a good user against the run too. Like he's been, I would say, from a defensive perspective, very, very solid, and that's definitely part of the reason why Phil's looked the way he has on offense. Sends the same cross blitz again. It does get through, but this time able to hit Johnson, breaks one tackle, and that gets depleted by Williams. And we're going to see some no huddle here. Denver, still putting an effort in here. But again, it's like all the starters are in. Like you're about to run down their fatigue. Do you really want to get anyone hurt right now? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Dak Prescott's going to roll out. Has no one. I'm putting in my backups here if I'm Phil, is what I'm trying to say. You are my fire, the one desire, believe when I say I want it that way. Mm-hmm. 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 When I say I want it that way, tell me why. Okay, I'm done. 2 minutes remaining. Once I tried to hit the high note, I was like, oh hell no. We're finishing this off. Mass in shambles, baby. Hey, the hamster's got some pipes too. The hamster's got some pipes, I'm not CMAS, I'm not Allen, but I can sing a little bit. Just a little bit. Dak Prescott will drop back, may eventually have that crosser open. He's going to try to hit that crosser, but that's a throw on the run. The 6th interception of the game, this time by Hamilton. Oh my God, what a lead block there by Humphrey. Just flexing a little bit. I take requests, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Lamar kneeling. And if I'm Phil, I'm trying to dive through the A gap. I'm trying to take out some knees right now. I don't give a damn. When I say I want it that way. All right, that's enough. That's enough, ladies and gentlemen. That's enough. That's enough. I've done too much. (26-10) victory by the Baltimore Ravens over Phil's Denver Broncos. Baltimore will secure the 5 seed and a divisional matchup. I mean, we have 2 divisional games, one in each conference, because we have Hero v. CMAS, and then we also have Cody v. Austin in the 4-5 game. Phil will drop down to the 6th seed and take on Kook's Indianapolis Colts. In a battle, honestly, of the sleepers, those are probably the 2 guys who the league as a whole would be most surprised if they were to make the Super Bowl. So we're going to see one of them go, and we're going to see one of them make it onto the divisional round. And I truly have no idea who's going to win that game. Like, zero clue. But for now, Baltimore will take the 26-10 victory. And I'll real quick, I'll see if either of them jump into the chat. Do not follow Mr. Breezy85, ladies and gentlemen. Do not do it. But I will hop in here real quick, as we do have Cody Young's son already here in the booth joining us for the postgame interview. Cody, I have Madden questions for you. My first question isn't about Madden. Is Jake Browning a dog or what?
He really might be him. He might be Himothy. The Burrow era might be over. Might trade him for, I don't know, like a 7th round pick, whatever we can get. And let Browning just lead us to the future.
It's a dog right there, literally. Cody, good performance here. I mean, obviously, it was a slow start on offense for both of you. The first quarter was rough, and then you were able to, really kind of turn things around and get your scheme going. I want to ask you, I'll ask you about the specific matchup. You did just secure a 4-5 matchup against Austin. I'll ask you about that. But what's your general confidence level like heading into playoffs right now?
I mean, I always feel like pretty decent. I think my offense, my offense is like, I mean, you saw it's not like it feels like it's either really good or really bad right now. I mean, I'm looking at Lamar literally went 5 for 15. I think that was also just kind of a weird game where I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like the problem is like because of like just the way my offense is, it's like it can be really explosive and like I can score very quickly. And the problem with that is then I'm on defense all game. So I feel like a lot of the games that I lose, I'm just like people have like 10 plus minutes of possession on me. So like I almost feel like I need to figure out how to like just get some nice like sustaining drives instead of like, always like relying on Lamar or like I don't know, Flowers or somebody to like make a big play.
Part of it also, I think, were all the KO abilities that Phil has, because I didn't think you were making bad reads at any point. It was just like you would make a solid read, and then Simmons comes in or Surtain comes in and just like knocks the ball out from your receiver's hands. That was kind of tough. I'll ask you now about the matchup. Obviously, you have Austin Raposa, 9-time champion. You two have played each other probably more times than I can count, including this cycle. So, what are your thoughts on that matchup specifically?
Yeah, I mean that's the big reason that I wanted to keep the starters in, wanted to play it. One, I just feel like I need to stay fresh. Into I don't know, if you want to go make a run at the Super Bowl, you don't want people to look at it and be like, he beat, not that Cook's been playing bad, but I think we can all, agree on paper Austin's a tougher matchup than Cook. So, and I don't know, games with Austin are just always fun. They're like chess matches. In the big brain move, if I were to play Kook and lose, people would say I'm washed. Whereas if I lose to Austin and I just lost to good news.
Listen, some people will say you're washed regardless, the memers out there. But Cody, I'll get back to you in a little bit for your final thoughts on your season in this game. But we move on to Phil now. Phil, obviously, not the type of game you wanted heading into the playoffs. You still are ultimately in the playoffs. You're going to play Kook in the 3-6 game. Before we get some specific questions, what are your thoughts on the game?
I just played fucking horrendous, man. I mean, I think Cody just sort of you can basically see what I'm calling at this point. And I need to work out how to counter that and sort of. I can't predict what he's going to call on defense, which I can do for most people, and then I call plays based on their prediction. And yeah, I just struggled. I wanted to sort of try some stuff out with this free game, and in a way, it's probably good that I lost because now I don't go into the playoffs confident or anything. So I'll go back to my usual playoff football rather than thinking I can actually pass over people, But yeah, it's pretty dire game.
I'll ask you. I mean, you kind of talked about your confidence level going into the playoffs. Is Zeke your normal starter at running back, or were you holding someone out? What? I didn't realize he was.
Javonte Williams is injured.
Okay, will he be back for the playoffs?
Yeah, he's back next week. Yeah.
All right, cool. So that should give you an added dimension for sure. I'm just going to ask you about your matchup with Kook. I mean, it's a really interesting matchup. I don't know how many times you guys have played each other in the playoffs, in a big time game, but obviously Kook has been one of the hottest users of the entire AFC recently. Has wins over Hero, has wins over Little. He's looked really, really solid. I'm just curious, like I just asked Cody with his matchup. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that matchup with Kook.
I mean, I don't really have many. I mean, Kook's probably the guy that's been here one of the guys that's been here a long time that I very, very rarely play. We just seem to be in opposite conferences all the time. Sometimes when we do play, he's not around or something like that. All I'm hearing is that he's very scary, So I'm gonna go into it apprehensive. I might go back and watch his game against little Alex maybe. Because I have not seen any of the games. So I have no idea how he plays or anything like that. So he's sort of venturing into the unknown.
He's got a fun scheme, I'll just say that. But yeah, I mean, you'll see when you watch him play a little. Cody, I'll get back to you now for your final thoughts. I'm gonna ask just your thoughts on like this season in general. Like, obviously, you were on the bridge against Troy, ended up winning that game. I just want to get your thoughts on just like the state of the Baltimore Ravens right now, and yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest hole on the team is just like it feels like my team either goes or doesn't go based on just like the trenches, like whether my O line's playing well, or if my D line's playing well. Like today, my O line blocked pretty well. I didn't like try to run it a ton necessarily, but like when I did, I feel like I was able to, for the most part, get like 4 or 5 yards, which hasn't been the case. I feel like a lot of times. And then also they were actually getting after Prescott. Like I had a couple where they got some good sheds, whereas I feel like a lot of times when I'm playing like Austin or Warren or some of these guys, I'm like, he can't have 7 seconds. I was like, I'm just going to get cut up if they have that much time, which that's like that. I mean, Warren blew me out of the water. And I feel like that was like the biggest thing. I just couldn't get to the quarterback. So I don't know. I feel pretty good in general. It's just, I think, we all have certain opinions on each Madden and stuff like that. I just feel like there's just a lot of random, like weird stuff, like weird, like buggy animations that happen sometime that just like put me on tilt that I probably just need to stop caring about, because then when you get tilted, you start to play worse.
It is what it is at this point, right? We're all playing the same game, and yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen things happen, been like, well, what the fuck? Like, how am I supposed to win this? But yeah, just all about kind of letting it go. Being Elsa from Frozen, just let it go. Cody, Phil, I appreciate you both for joining me in here. Good luck to both of you in the playoffs. I'll be playing Morty pretty soon. That'll be fun. I don't know who else is like playing playoff match. Dan V. Allen at 10, but I don't know like what else is happening. But and thank you to Steele as well if you're listening. He joined me for the first half while driving. I don't necessarily condone that, but I appreciate the heart, certainly. Appreciate that. And yeah, I'll see you all in the